I'm a tradie, I get phone calls, I get emails, I get texts, I get all of this junk of people wanting jobs, wanting quotes, rah, 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 and I can't keep up with it. I've got stuff everywhere and it is a mess. Let me show you how to simplify this whole thing. Let me show you how to track where your customers are coming from, who they are, what they do, what they want, where they are in your system. Let's just get straight into this beautiful, beautiful little thing. What we're going to use here is a CRM. Now, you may have heard of a CRM, you may have not. Let me break it down really, really simple. What we want is all of those jobs, right? You get people calling you, right? That's a phone. You get people emailing you, right? You get people texting you on their phone. You get people who want this quote. You get people who want that quote. All of this stuff, right, comes to you, and then you have nowhere to place it, right? You write it in your notes, you write it here, you write it there, and it gets lost, and then this guy wants you to remember what you quoted and you don't know where to find it, and you understand the picture because I know you know what I'm talking about. Let's simplify this. What instead of you having to organize it all, it came into a CRM. What is a CRM? A CRM is a customer relation manager. Now, if all of these people had all of their quotes, all of their things, and instead of it going into Xero or into your notes or into this, into that, right, you had one little area, right? And this is where person one with the phone call came in, and you can have their name, you can have the quote number or whatever. And then the next person came in, and then you can have their quote number and their name. And then the next person came in, and their quote number and their name. You get the picture. What happens when they want to follow up with something, or you have to remember a task? Well, the next piece of the pipeline, you can put them there. So these are people who've received quotes. So now you know. And then this guy, you want to move him over to here because he's called and is interested in booking in. So you take his card and you place it here, right? You drag it on over. And then he disappears from here. All these move up nicely and it's a beautiful stack again. Now this one here is like follow-up or something, right? They want to follow up, or they want to request a callback, or they want something. Now you know that you need to take care of that, right? Then the people who are wanting to book. So we can have another one, booking requested, right? Then this guy, he just wants to go straight to a booking request. So you're going to go, boom, you're going to drag his card on over here. Now you know that you need to take care of him, right? So he's going to disappear. This guy's going to move up. It's going to be nice and neat. You can see everything. Everyone who's received quotes, everyone who wants follow-up, everyone who wants booked, and you can even make another one for job complete if you would like to, right? Now, this is all simple. This is like, okay, cool. So I've just got this little system where I can organize my customers. I can fill out all of my customers. But this is where it gets very, very interesting, because each of your customers now can be spoken to differently. They can be automated in different processes, and we can even bring in things like automated quoting systems. So with my business, we have an automated quoting system. So our customers go onto our website, they fill out this quote form, and it automatically sends them a quote with all of the information, right? And then their card gets popped straight into here. So at this point, I haven't touched them. I just know that they've received a quote because their card is in here. Then they call me and they say, hey, I have quote number 321695. So I just literally search it. I find it here and I'm like, cool, great. And they're like, I would like to know a bit more. So now I know that this customer they're interested, right? So I don't need to push them to get a quote anymore. I know that they're interested. They want some more information. So I drag them over to maybe follow up, or I drag them over to interested, or whatever pieces we have in here. I'll show you in depth what sort of pieces, depending on what sort of system you have, that we can set up, because these are all very customizable. So this customer's come in, I haven't done anything, now they want to go here. What about another customer? They went in, filled out the form, got this quote, they ended up in here, they want to book, right? So we have another system after all of this, because once they've received a quote, they're in this pipeline, they're tagged as this person. So let me change color here. Now there's automations on the back end. So these people in the quote, we want them to book in. Why haven't they booked in? There are so many different things. They want more information. They need more time. They want like blah, blah, blah. So that's where we send automated emails. That's where we send automated text messages, right? That's supposed to be a notification. I don't know why I did it like that, but it's a bell. So we send all these automated things to the quotes. But the people here who have booked in, they don't want to get a quote. So we don't need to push them to the same stuff. we want to push these guys to other things, right? And this is where this pipeline comes really, really handy, and it's really, really powerful because we can set up automations at each stage of the business. People who have booked in probably just want a bit of information just for the customer experience. What's going to happen? How are they going to, like, what's the process like when we come on site? Reminders for when we're booked in and when we're coming. All of these different things can get sent out to these customers that these customers don't necessarily need to see. Same with this, like our booked customers don't need to be prompted to get a quote or book in because they're already booked. So this is where our pipeline can tag our customers, it can give them a whole experience, and it can talk to them in different stages, right? This is how the most powerful things can be done with a pipeline and with organization for all of your jobs. So not to mention like the simplest thing that you have a nice system now where all of your customers are and you know where they are and the stages and who you need to follow up with, so on and so forth, and to take care of your business like you absolutely should instead of this freaking mess that you're running with. I only say this because I know, because I had a mess as well. But you can follow up with them. You can do all these different things. And not to mention, right, here is what I have set up. So we have, as I spoke about, these quotes here where the customer comes in, they get a quote, they end up here. But then we have another form. So if they want to book, so this prompts them to book. So these emails all have a link saying, book here. This has a text, book here, right? Once they click this button, they go to a different form and they fill in all their details, pick the dates that they want, and then their pipeline card automatically moves over to here to booked, right? We get a text message saying, hey, so this is another automation. We get a text message to my phone saying, hey, a customer's ready to book in, give them a call. Then I call them, I book them in on in the calendar, in the service app, whatever, and then we move their card over to booked, and then boom. Now we have this whole system, right? And then from here, after they're booked, we can send them review requests, right? So we can make sure that we're getting 5-star reviews on all of our services. We can send them different services that we have so we can sell the same customer again and make more money off of the same customer. Do you see how this system is so very powerful, aside from being able to organize your whole business for you and take a whole load off of and things out of your brain so that you can focus on other stuff? You just know that your customers are exactly where they need to be. You can find them, but we can automate the whole process from quoting to booking and all of the follow-ups in between to convert more customers, to give them a better experience, to help you and simplify your business. Now, what we're going to do is actually break this whole thing down, and I'm going to show you how to build it out inside of our school system. So if you want, there is a link down in the description. Click on that, and I'm going to show you how to actually build out all of this, not to mention a whole bunch of other stuff like advertising. So how to actually get these automatic quotes for your business, how to set up these forms, how to set up a proper sustainable business, giving your customers an absolutely beautiful trade experience, right? This is what we do, the Online Tradie. Go down there, check it out. If you haven't got a CRM system set up for your business, please consider it, because it is one of the most amazing things that you can do for your business. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it all step by step, nice and guided, so that you can have a beautiful, gorgeous business that runs without your attention 24/7. I'll catch you on the next one.